Alright guys, how's it going? Just hanging out, I'm on my own in the house. Been chatting to some of the guys. Just finished watching a show that's just come back onto British TV. It's called Still Game. It's a Scottish show about a bunch of about a bunch of old age pensioners, retired people in a tenement block of flats in Glasgow. It's called Still Game. I think I just said that. Really would recommend it if anybody's never seen it or never heard of it. It's called Still Game. Great show. So, yeah, I had a good time just watching that. Sorry, I've got a heater here. I'm trying to keep warm without heating the entire house. So I've got a plug-in heater, but it's incredibly bright. Anyway, so what I was doing, you can just see the lid of the record player there. I've just been listening to some records, so I've taken some out. We'll have a little look through. I've taken out just in Tom Waits records. This is what I've been listening to. I'm making this video entirely because I'm trying not to go out and have a cigarette. I've been 2 weeks Thursday, so it's Friday today, so 2 weeks in a day without smoking a cigarette, and I was smoking 8 to 10 a day, so yeah, I've been alright, but I've been drinking some beer tonight, and that's really made me want to go out and have a cigarette. So yeah, anyway, stop talking about it. This is Tom Waits' first album. I've got them all in these little houses. Well, I've got the majority of them in these little houses. This is Closing Time. Let's just take up the whole screen with it. This is a lot of people kind of disregard this album, but honestly, I think this is one of my favourites. I love this. It's got Old 55, which was covered by the Eagles, I think it was it? What else has it got on here? I Hope I Don't Fall in Love with You. I love that. I love Little Trip to Heaven, Grapefruit Moon, Rosie, Martha. It's great. It's great. It's really cheeky. At the end of the first side, there's a song called Martha. It's about him phoning a girl that he used to go out with, and telling her how much he loves her and everything. After all this time, he still loves her and everything that's happened. And then you flip it over and he sings a song about Rosie, this girl called Rosie. And yeah, so it's everything he said about Martha was bullshit, was it? But because he's now singing this ode to a girl called Rosie. But yeah, this is a great album. And yeah, his first one. So, second is The Heart of Saturday Night. These are all I don't know that they're first pressings, but they're all old. I've not bought them new. They've all been second hand. And this has got some great songs on it. The San Diego Serenade is a highlight of Tom Waits, especially in the 70s songwriting. Just a lot of his really early stuff when he's a bluesy kind of late night. Yeah, these albums are great to listen to, especially the first one, especially Closing Time. That's the best album to listen, that's the album you listen to if you're walking home after a night out. It's just really got that feel of kind of, not tiredness, but kind of you're it's not even that, that's bad to say that. But if you're walking home and you're drunk and, this is the album. This is the album. Alone, obviously, if you're walking home alone. You'll know what I mean if you listen to it. Anyway, Heart of Saturday Night. This has got some great songs, like we said. Diamonds on My Windshield. The title track, Heart of Saturday Night. Fumbling with the Blues. Drunk on the Moon. Yeah. Please Call Me Baby. Is that on here? Yeah. Yeah. This is a great album. And for what he is now, or for who he is now, these two albums don't really cause much of a scene, if you see what I mean. They're really nice, just really good albums. They're not trying to be anything. They're not, announcing anything fantastic. It's like you know what I mean? He rose to it, as opposed to came right out the blocks. This is Nighthawks at the Diner. This might be my favourite Tom Waits album. This one needs to come out of the little house. But yeah, this is his third album, but it's essentially a live album, but of all new tracks, if you see what I mean. But it's recorded live or whatever. It's a double album, and this has just got some amazing stuff on here. There's a great track near the end. It's called Big Joe and Phantom 309. I would recommend listening. Anybody right now, go listen to that. Big Joe and Phantom 309. It's like a ghost story set to music. It's a cover. I'm not off the top of my head. I can't remember who sang it, but Tom Waits covers it on this album. And this is like him at like the height of his kind of early persona of like the barroom barfly, just like he's always hanging around, he's out late at night, and yeah, Nighthawks at the Diner. That's exactly what it is. And most songs on here have, like, this isn't separate songs, if you see what I mean. Well, it is, but it's all intertwined with him talking, and it's not separate tracks. It's one whole piece, if you see what I mean. I hate the fact that I just used the word piece, but there you go. Okay, I don't know if I'm missing any. I think I'm missing some of the early ones. I don't have many Tom Waits albums. This is Small Change. This has songs that you would have heard. Tom Traubert's Blues, which is often called Waltzing Matilda. Is there I Wish I Was in New Orleans, which Scarlett Johansson put on her Tom Waits covers album, if you ever heard that. And The Piano Has Been Drinking, that's a classic Tom Waits track. But yeah, this is him. There's some titty in this one, so some of you guys might like that. I apologise for calling it titty. But there's some go-go girls, I guess you'd call them strippers, I don't know. But there you are. The next one is Blue Valentine. I really, really liked this one when I got it. It's got, is it a cover somewhere from West Side Story? I don't think he wrote that. No, maybe he did. Okay, so the track Somewhere from West Side Story. I was pretty sure he didn't write that, but anyway, this album has a track on it called Christmas Cards from a Hooker in Minneapolis. Amazing. He's a really good storyteller. And yeah, that's a track that I would recommend highly for anybody. So there we go. Sorry if the quality of this video is not up to standard. I realise that sometimes the quality of my videos can't be great. But I'm filming on the iPad just now because I just want to hang out for a bit and talk about some records, and I've got some books and stuff, so I should really stop taking these out because I can't get them back in effectively. It's cool, we've done it. Alright, next one. Okay, so I think I don't know if I am missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or maybe I'm missing one. Oh, Foreign Affairs is in all of that at some point. This is the last of his kind of early music, if you see what I mean. This is 1979, is it? No, this is 1980. This is Heart Attack and Vine. This is the last of his kind of bluesy, soul-y albums. So I really need to get myself a copy of Foreign Affairs. But anyway, Heart Attack and Vine. This has on it, I don't know if it's on the front there, this has Jersey Girl, which was covered by, what's-his-face, The Boss, or the Dross, as I like to call him. What's his name? Why do I keep saying Bob Seger? It's not him. It's the other one. Bruce Springsteen. So Bruce Springsteen covered Jersey Girl that's on this album, and it also has a track on here called On the Nickel, and that is an amazing song. This whole album's great. This, like I say, this was his last kind of standard album. I don't know if you'd even call it that, because he was never standard, but this was his last kind of in this persona, this original persona he came out with of this. So we then go into the first of what would be the trilogy of albums he did in the 80s, but this is Swordfish Trombones, and this is where he started really experimenting with music. He signed to Island. He was on Asylum for the first 7. He signed to Island, and started just going for it. I think they basically just let him do what he wanted. He produced this one. I don't know if he's produced any of the earlier ones, but this is kind of like the beginning of how he is now, if you see what I mean. And this is actually one of the last studio albums of his I've got. It is the last studio album of his I've got on vinyl. I've got everything on CD, but I need to swap it all up onto this. But this has Time with No Cheer and In the Neighbourhood are both great songs. Frank's Wild Years, which he would later make an entire album around, and a stage show maybe. And yeah, Rainbirds. Rainbirds is the last track on this, which would be the second album in this trilogy. So there's 3 of these. There's Swordfish Trombones, Rainbirds, no, it's called Rain Dogs, sorry, and Frank's Wild Years. Frank's Wild Years has the song Down in the Hole, which was the theme song for The Wire, which they recorded 4 different versions of, I think. Tom Waits is season 2 and season 5, and then there's covers on 1, 3 and 4. So there you go. But this is like the beginning of his experimental music that he continues with right to this day. So there you go. And that's the last studio album of his that I have on vinyl. What we got next? Oh yeah, this. My wife bought me this for my birthday. This is, what's it called? On the Scene 73. So this is a radio show. This is really, really interesting. Live recordings. I think only the first 2 albums are out at this point. And yeah, it's just an interview, and he plays piano and guitar all the way through. I would highly recommend this if anyone has seen it. I don't know how many there were, or if it was a limited run or if it's just standard, I don't know. But yeah, take a look. This, if you don't listen to Tom Waits or haven't listened to Tom Waits, something like this would be ideal. You can just hear him talking about songwriting, the fact that he actually planned writing these songs for other people originally, like I think San Diego Serenade, he was planning on Ray Charles singing that, so that would have been really interesting to see if Ray Charles had done a version. But anyway, that's really great. Double album, there you go. And then finally is this one. I bought this, this is called Tales from the Underground. Just Tales from the Underground. I think there's about 4 of these. I bought this for about £13-14, and I regretted it afterwards because I didn't properly have a look at it. I thought it was just a Tom Waits compilation, which it is, but it's not like an official Tom Waits anything. It's just like some random bootleg. You can tell it was all packaged up when I bought it. It was all poly wrapped and everything, and I didn't realise, but you can tell it's not the best. It's not the best quality, but it's got some great stuff on here. So it's got like a heap of B-sides and like live stuff. But track 5 of side 2 is Tommy the Cat, the Primus song, and Tom Waits obviously is Tommy the Cat, the voice of Tommy the Cat. So that's really cool, at least just to have Tommy the Cat available to me to play on vinyl whenever I want. And yeah, it's got Downtown Train on here as well, the single version, which Rod Stewart covered, and it's got a Disney song. What one is it? Hey Ho. Oh yeah, the marching song. It's terrifying. It's terrifying from Snow White. So anyway, yeah, that's all of that. That's just a heap of Tom Waits albums. I've been looking through some. Well, actually, I'll say this. Beside me here, I've got that as well. Beside me here is my bookshelf, one of my bookshelves that I keep a load of my older books in. I've got a set of these. This is The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and they're in kind of bound like this. And I've had this for years and years, and then I found this more recently, and I was really chuffed to have the set of both of them. And then I was at one of those book fairs. I don't know if I've shown these before, but I was at one of those book fairs that I go to every now and then, and they had a heap of other ones from the same set. So let's just see what we've got here. Anything interesting? John Steinbeck, The Grapes of Wrath. So that's cool. Again, in the same binding. Yeah, and then I've got like Passage to India. Stuff like that, and then there's one in green here. Look at this. This is Keats and Shelley. Oh, and Byron as well. So just a heap of poetry. So yeah, I got a heap of those the other day. What else is there that's interesting? Oh right, okay. So this guy, Hugh Walpole, Portrait of a Man with Red Hair. So I bought, these two. It's called The Dark Forest and the Secret City. And then I saw this one another time and picked it up. But this guy, Hugh Walpole, was quite a respected writer back in the day, 1900s, 1920s, I don't know. But he's one of these guys that has never been reprinted. Like, you couldn't go in and buy, like, vintage classics Hugh Walpole. So a lot of people, I was reading, maybe he has been reprinted now, but I was reading that a lot of people claim him as a lost author, if you see what I mean. I'm trying to find dates on these things, but I can't. Okay, 1934, so yeah, early 1900s. I don't know when these were reprinted. Well, they wouldn't have been, would they? These would have been back in the day, so 1930s. So Hugh Walpole, if you want to have a check out of him, it's just cool to have stuff that's well respected, but not well respected enough to be widely known. I think Finn might make an appearance in a second. So next we've got a couple of trades here. This is Miracle Man, Dream of Flying. This is a Eclipse. You coming up? Coming in. This is an Eclipse trade. These are really tough to get hold of. Since Marvel have republished them as well, they're almost become unnecessary. People don't really like. This is purely for collectors now. So yeah, that's the trade. That collects the Eclipse series of Miracle Man, issue 1 to 3. So it's a curio more than anything. But I think, seeing as I have the trades, I've got this book in mind for somebody else, so it's saved. This next one is a tough book to find. This is Tank Girl by Jamie Hewlett and whoever the other guy is, Martins, I don't know who he is. But Jamie Hewlett is obviously the artist who did all the artwork for the band The Gorillaz, him and Damon Albarn. But this is a first printing of the original story, the original stories of Tank Girl. This is difficult to find in a decent condition. This one's not the best condition, which I'm actually happy about because it means I can read it without worrying too much. So anyway, yeah, Tank Girl. And lastly, I've taken these out because this is going to be the next books I read again. Jinx by Brian Michael Bendis and Goldfish. I was trying to figure out what way round they go. It said this is a prequel of this, but I don't know if this was out first. You see what I mean? But I'm going to read Jinx first, because that was the first one I had anyway. I picked these up in junk shops, charity shops, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I do like Brian Michael Bendis. I've not read too much of his stuff. Like Powers, I've read a couple of bits and pieces. I know he did a Spider-Woman story, 7 issues or something of that I would be interested in picking up. But like I say, there's Batmans to be bought. But anyway, I've got these, and it's a fair stack. That's a decent day, maybe 2 days reading. So I'm looking forward to getting hold. I'm looking forward to reading through these. That's kind of it, I guess. But that's 20 minutes. That's maybe the longest video that I've ever done. I just wanted to film on here so I could just chill out and hang out a bit. I'm sorry that my phone's been going crazy. You've maybe not heard it. I might have had it on silent, I can't remember. Yeah, so, sorry, I just gave up there. Yeah guys, thanks very much. I've got a trash video coming, and we'll have a new Batman video coming. So, yeah, stick around. Thanks very much guys, and we'll see you for the next one.